Hi everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So in this video,
Because if Taylor Swift was an up and coming artist and she was sending some of those songs off Life of a Showgirl to labels and to A&Rs to try to get signed, they would laugh her ass out of that building.
I said Taylor Swift's new album sucks, and I didn't even get a single death threat from a Swiftie.
Taylor Swift's new album is giving that weird girl from high school that finally sees like a wiener for the first time and won't shut the fuck up about it.
Taylor Swift's new album is not just bad as a concept, it is musically terrible.
This is lyrically her worst album. I drink that brown liquor, I make deals with the devil because my D's bigger. I'm not a bad beat and this isn't savage. Like a toy chihuahua barking at me from a tiny purse, that's how much it hurts. I want those bright lights and Balenci shades and a fat ass with a baby face. Boss up, settle down, got a wish list, I just want you. All that beeping, wishing on a falling star never did me any good. It's like when a 12-year-old learns to curse for the first time.
Taylor Swift's new album is many things. Unfortunately, good is not one of them.
Alright, eldest daughter.
Taylor Swift is obsessed with black women. Taylor Swift is obsessed with the fact that several of her exes have moved on to date black women.
When Taylor Swift said that she wrote that album in between the Eras tour, I knew it was going to be bad. The same Eras tour that was 2 years long, that you were all over the world performing for 3 hours a night. I know, because I was there. That was a long concert. I was tired from singing. It's actually just put the pen down and take a break.
So the album is called Life of a Showgirl. Oh, so is it all about your experiences in show business? No, it's mostly about how Travis did down. A lot of the songs are devoted to him. I do see you have a song titled Wood. Is that? Oh yeah, that's exactly what you think it is. Okay, and I see we have something called Actually Romantic. Is that another song about Travis? Oh no, funny story. That one's actually my really aggressive Charlie XCX diss track. Yeah. I bring up habits. What can you tell me about the opening track, Fate of Ophelia? Oh no, that one is about Travis. It's about how he saved me from a fate worse than death. Oh my god. Being single in my 30s. Oh. But as you can see, the last track on the album is called The Life of a Showgirl, so really all comes together.
My hair is blonde. Guess I'm your all-American girl.
Some of you might have made Taylor Swift mad. I know it wasn't me because I love the album, but Taylor was on the Zane Lowe show, and I don't know, like the way she was talking about the album was a bit different than all the other interviews she's done. Watch this quick clip and then we'll talk on the other side.
Business is if it's the first week of my album release and you are saying either my name or my album title, you're helping. And art, I have a lot of respect for people's subjective opinions on art. I'm not the art police. It's like everybody is allowed to feel exactly how they want. And what our goal is as entertainers is to be a mirror. Oftentimes an album is a really, really wild way to look at yourself, right? What you're going through in your life is going to affect whether you relate to the music that I'm putting out at any given moment. And
A lot of people are taking that mirror comment and making it like Taylor is telling us that if we don't like the album, we are just unhappy people, not happy in life, etc. I don't know if that's what she meant. She does seem a bit ticked off in this interview. She starts using words like satire to describe the songs, which is not a word she has used in any of her other many interviews about this album. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Did Taylor seem...
yeah, a lot of people are not buying it. You know, they have a lot to say about it. Honestly, when I first saw it last night, I thought it was AI. And I went into the comment section and I saw a lot of people saying it's AI, it's not real. So I went to bed only for me to wake up this morning and find out that it was actually an interview that, you know, she said those things that she said in there. And people are reacting to it because they're like, you didn't say these things in other interviews. Why are you saying this now? Why are you saying it's satire? Why are you saying that you need this to sell your music? You're a billionaire. You don't need this. They're saying that in previous interviews, she's mentioned that one with her boyfriend, she mentioned that this was an album that she's always wanted to make. So this sounds like she doubling down and people are not buying it. People are not here for it. Anyway, let's get into that quickly.
What you're going through in life is going to affect whether you can relate to the music I'm putting out at any given moment. So right now, if you're not getting a good down by like a really well hung man, you probably won't relate to my new album. The rule of show business, since you guys aren't in show business and don't know what it is if it's the first week of my album release and you are either saying my name or my album title, you are helping. I actually didn't care if you hated it. I wanted you to hate it. You don't understand show business. That's what I wanted. In art, I have a lot of respect for people's subjective opinions on art. I'm not the art police. Like, everyone is allowed to feel exactly how they want to feel. And the goal for us as entertainers is to be like a mirror. Oftentimes, an album is a really, really wild way to look at yourself, right? Like, I'm going to mansplain what an album is now. What you're going through in life is going to affect whether you can relate to the music I'm putting out at any given moment. So right now, if you're not getting a good down by like a really well hung man, you probably won't relate to my new album. And what I often love seeing my fans say is like, they didn't used to be someone who related to Reputation and now they've been through some stuff in their life and it's their favorite album. Or, you know, they used to be like a Fearless girly and now they're obsessed with Evermore. So again, mansplaining it, it's going to depend on what you're going through in your life. If you're not engaged to a well-hung football player who he and I collectively have millions of dollars, you're not going to get it. And like, we're doing this thing for keeps, right? When I am making my music, I have my eye on my legacy. And my legacy right now is about getting it on in the bedroom. And that's what I'm going to sing about and write about. I know what I made and I know I adore it. And I know I adore Travis's Wood. And that's all that's on my mind. So besides that and, you know, some high school drama stuff, that's my life. That and yachts and private jets. And I know that's on theme of what like the showgirl is. And all of this is part of that. So that's my new album.
So in Taylor Swift's response to criticism of her album, she says, you know, what you're going through in life, that's going to affect whether or not you relate to the music she's releasing at any given time. Okay, let's accept that premise. When she says, you know, gonna have the whole block looking like you, talking about her white football husband, Travis Kelce, who's supposed to relate to that? She says, you know, like, I'm not a bad B word, I'm not a savage, and is obviously throwing shade at Kelsey's black ex-girlfriends. Who's supposed to relate to that? I would have had so much more respect for her if she had just walked it back. Girl, just say that, you know, it wasn't your intention, that you're just, you know, in love with this guy, and you're not trying to be playing into a lot of the conservative talking points and rhetoric going on right now. That's not what she said. That's not what she said, and she is a smart, savvy businesswoman, and so I'm thinking that's on purpose. She is not trying to alienate the fans who are defending her and saying that these lyrics are innocent. For a former fan like me, and I mean, I would be streaming Cruel Summer a lot. I'm really disappointed. I mean, she's playing into a lot of problematic rhetoric in the same way that Sydney Sweetie was with the American Eagle ad, but she's just doing it in a smarter way, in a more insidious and layered way, so that the criticism can be more easily dismissed.
And you are saying either my name or my album title, you're helping.
So let me get this straight. The billionaire is saying that whether we like her music or not, if we're talking about it, we're helping. What are we helping her with? What does she need help with? Well, we're helping her with her marketing. And why do people market? For money, for notoriety, for popularity, for fame? Does she really need that? Does she need more? Does she need more of that?
So what Taylor Swift told all of us in that Zayn interview is that she does not care if you care about her lyricism or artistry. She is a businessman. No, it wouldn't be such a gross thing for her to be like, I just want the money. I just want people to talk about me so people buy my stuff and stream my album. If she was like some up and coming artist or someone who was from the mean streets of like Texas or Nashville, whatever, you know, somewhere where she was like needing the money, but she's like a billionaire. She's a billionaire. She has a private jet that is polluting the skies so she can jet set from New York with her other fellow canceled girl boss friends and things, and she's sitting there in this interview basically, I don't want to call it saying that she was doubling down. I did a previous video where I talked about the fact that I did feel like people were kind of piling on and kind of making it so that she was this lone example of some out of touch billionaire, when in reality, many of these artists are out of touch. Many of these artists are kind of playing relatable and they're not really relatable. And some just aren't very good at masking it, like Taylor and Katy Perry. Just to have her catch a stray as well. Honestly, didn't think she was going to give an interview. I'm actually surprised that she sat down. But then again, the media, the corporate media, I mean, has been softballing her for some time now. You know, it doesn't seem like there's any allowance for bad reviews of this album. And I can't be too surprised that she did an interview where she got very softball questions. If anything, it sounds like, as someone who works in media, it sounds like, you know, the agreement might have been, you know, the idea that, sure, I'll do this interview if you let me have this platform to say what I need or want to say in terms of the backlash that this album is getting. You get an interview, but no really tough pushback questions. And, you know, a lot of them happily oblige. No sort of shade to Zayn, but I'm not too surprised that she doubled down, or more so backtracked. I feel like she backtracked because I could have sworn that in previous interviews, particularly on her boyfriend's podcast, or excuse me, fiance or whatever he is to her podcast, she said that this was an album that she had always been wanting to make, that this was deeply personal to her, blah, yada, yada. And now it seems like from what she was saying in the Zayn interview, it sounds like she's saying that this is a character and this is satire and this is meant to be kind of, you know, absurd and whatnot. And I'm not buying it. She thought there was going to be a different kind of reaction, and instead of it now being allowed to be something personal to her, she's now making it so this was some character that is not me. There's nothing associated with me, which is kind of hard to believe because a lot of the things that people were getting on about the album, her throwing shade at Travis's exes, her throwing shade at Charlie X, her throwing shade at Olivia and others, and the whole canceled friends thing, given some of the people she's friends with, seem very much a Taylor thing, unless she created a character that is pretty much like her. Instead of her standing 10 toes down and being like, yeah, you know, maybe not everyone's gonna agree, but it came from the heart, she instead said, and I quote, I had to write this down and post it, "It's the first week of my album release, and if you are saying my name or the name of the album title, you are helping." So she basically went the route of any media is good media, and it's the idea that the more people that talk about it, the more, you know, attention that it gets. But it's also kind of, that doesn't really work when you're already successful. That doesn't really work when you're already a billionaire who has a lot of money already. Like, you don't need the streams necessarily. I mean, we know this wasn't going to be a flop. I mean, you are who you are. You have a legion of fans. This was never going to be a flop money wise. So it's not money that you need, right? That's not where it's at. You don't need the money. If anything, at this point, you're doing it for the acclaim. You didn't have to put out this album. You aren't, you know, needing some extra money for the wedding or something. So at this point, you did it for your ego. You did it for the attention, and hopefully, I'm thinking, the good attention. So it doesn't really seem genuine to then say, oh, well, it's just about people buying it. That's gross. And I mean, just look at all the different versions of this album that exists. I mean, oh my gosh, yes, this is someone who definitely wanted more money, but at the same time, knowing what we know about her, she does care about what people think. She does want to be, you know, I don't want to say the cool girl, maybe that's how she was with Matt, but she doesn't want to look like the person losing in a situation. So I find it hard to believe that she is taking the idea, like she said, the art police, like she's not trying to be the art police, but she also wants to talk about Taylor Swift's album. Yeah, I don't really believe that she's okay with the fact that this didn't get the kind of good attention from not only naysayers, but her fellow fans. Like, this isn't just haters who were going to hate on the album no matter what because they hated all the albums before this. These are also fans who are saying, what is this? I've liked some of those songs and albums that she's had. I even wrote a review of her documentary, Miss Americana. So, and it was a good review. I actually like that documentary because I thought she was on a trajectory that was very different from what this album is and the vibes that she is giving right now. I think, you know, if anything, she probably should have just stayed silent.
That little response video of Taylor Swift, you can tell that girl's been mad. She been crying, she mad. The downfall of Taylor Swift. I love it. I absolutely love it. It comes to the fact that her music has not matured at all. And that's why people are comparing her to people like Rihanna and Beyonce and people who are in her competition, I want to say, like, circle, because as they got older, then you don't see Beyonce, a married woman, making songs like, you know, Put a Ring on It and all that shit anymore. Like, you don't see her doing that. Like, she's evolved with her audience and her music has matured with her audience. Taylor Swift still makes music for, it's kind of creepy if you think of it, because it's almost like she's making music for 14 and 15 year olds. Like, what do you have in common with a 14, 15, 18 year old? Like, that's kind of weird. Like, you shouldn't be making music for them. You should be making music for the people who were listening to you back in 2014 and shit like that. You could tell she was crying. She was definitely crying. She's mad. And she's just a rich girl who got famous, basically. I mean, when you have the money that Taylor Swift had, her parents had, and all that stuff, and she may not have been like buku rich at that time, but she had enough money. She came from enough wealth to move shit around if she wanted to be, just like Drake. Drake ain't grow up with like bukus of money, but his family knew people. They had connections, they had money, and they made him popular. They made him a singer. He wanted to do it, he did it. You know what I'm saying? So she was just rich, and she got as far as she did because of that. And now people are starting to recognize her for who she is and realizing she really don't got no talent. She really ain't got no talent. And I'm glad y'all starting to realize.
You relate to the music that I'm putting out at any given moment. And
Yeah, I'm just having a hard time relating to a billionaire white woman who is pushing traditional wife values while dating a football star. Sorry, engaged to.
Somebody please tell me that Taylor Swift response video was AI, because this is genuinely getting too embarrassed. Like, why did I just see like her responding to people not liking her album? Not responding about like people saying like, hey, the alt-right stuff and this kind of like weird, and like, remember when you sued that girl over her kind of calling out you being kind of like what you did? It was really just her like pretending to be a philosopher. She went on there like, art. Really, when you think about it, there's no one meaning to art, so we can't really police what other people do when it comes to their art, because artistically, girl, shut the fuck up. Literally, like, you didn't even have to say anything. And this is why it's annoying me, because it's like, she's playing in everybody's face, but playing nothing. Like, you're playing in everybody's face, and I would have respect, like, no, I wouldn't, but there's nothing, like, there's nothing there. You're giving, I don't get why y'all keep letting her do it. I don't get it, because, like, you know, I'm not even, like, a Taylor Swift hater. I just have eyes. And the fact y'all keep letting this woman play in your face, like, she really, is that video real? Because one, are you shooting this from an iPhone 15? Why? Like, I got my quality's bad, but you're like a billionaire. Why is my quality? Beyond that, it's just like, what was the like, do you just want attention that bad? Don't you have enough? Like, literally, it kind of pisses me off, because it's like, why do billionaires want so much? Like, girl, you're already a billionaire. You already had like mad years of this shit. And now you're coming out and it's like, you don't even want the music. You don't even care if the music is good. It's not just like, fuck what everybody else thinks. I'm going to release my music and do me, and everybody else can do whatever the fuck they're going to do. I'm going to do my music. I'm just going to play my music. Oh, turn on that radio as loud as it can. Yeah, I'm just going to play my music. No, instead, she's over here like making it like an attention thing. Like, I don't get it. Why, like, what was that?
Yeah. Honestly, I said this yesterday with the other video, and I'm saying it again. Sometimes all you need to do is quiet. Quiet. Don't say anything. Keep it quiet. Then again, she just probably is also her, fanning the flame, to get people to talk more. So maybe it's all part of it, okay? To get us to talk, to get people to talk more. Maybe the talking is going down. People have stopped talking, okay? So maybe that's her way of getting us to keep talking, okay? Yeah, so yeah. It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Anyway, let's get into some of the comments that I saw. I'm going to put it here. You can read it for yourself. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so someone says satire requires a clarity of purpose and target, lest it be mistaken for and contribute to that which it intends to criticize. Having to get online and explain yourself is not clarity of purpose. Yeah, someone said she previously said it was going to be an authentic album, but changed her time or tune when people hated it. Someone said she should be mad at whoever did her face. Someone said loads of under-eye filler. Oh my God. Someone says, I think she's condescending. Another person says, it's impossible to tell what she's feeling because her face literally doesn't move. Someone said, if you have to explain something is satire, you didn't create satire. Oh, okay. Okay. Someone said her mask slightly slipped. Another person is commenting on her face. They are saying her face is full. All right. Yeah. So there you have it. She's saying that it's all part of it. It's all part of the game. Okay. She's probably unbothered, although people are saying she's bothered, so she's probably bothered about the whole situation. Yeah. I mean, sometimes when people are bothered, they say they are unbothered when they are actually bothered. I've seen a few people do that. So yeah, I know that. So it could be that she's actually onboarded, or it could be that she's boarded. But hey, anyway, I want to leave you to here. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care of yourselves and one another. Bye.